Hello to all my South African friends, contacts, brothers and sisters, both home and abroad. Today's episode is a series of questions which borders on what is going on right now in South Africa. How are you dealing with the poverty-induced frustrations spreading across South Africa right now? How are you dealing with the violent crimes all over South African suburb, even in towns right now? How are you dealing with the new discrimination, racism, and apartheid that seems to be spreading across South Africa right now? How are you handling your justice system? And how is your justice system responding to all this? Perhaps before you provide any answer to this, I'm going to share a video with you which will shed much light on what is happening right now in South Africa and how you are handling it and where will this get South Africa to. After that, we come back to this other side so that we discuss the issue in detail. As usual, you know, I'm always on the part of solution. I come in peace. But before then, happy viewing.
The trial of the accused farmer and 2 accomplices is already underway. The chilling details reveal that the women's bodies were found being eaten by pigs.
Zacharias Johannes Olivier, Andrien Rudolph Tivet, William Musora are to be charged with at least the following offenses. 1, 2 counts of murder read with Section 51, subsection 1 of Act 105 of 1997. 2, attempted murder read with Section 51, subsection 1 of Act 105 of 1997.
According to reports, the farmer shot the women at close range before discarding their bodies in a horrific attempt to cover up the crime.
It was not immediately foreseeable that there might be dead bodies in the farm. Hence, I'm saying the victim spoke about him being shot at and others being assaulted.
The victims were known for collecting leftover food to support their families. The tragic deaths have reignited concerns about racial violence in South Africa's agricultural sector, where black farm workers and vulnerable women often face dangerous working conditions. Critics argue that this incident is not just a brutal murder, but a symbol of deep-seated inequalities and racial tensions that persist in rural areas.
It is brutal, it is wrong, it cannot be done. That is why we're concerned that, again, some sections of the community are not here. Because I think this is one thing which require all of us, even other farmers, to come and say, not in our name. They're not here. What must we believe? That if it is a farm dweller, it's okay? Because if it was a farmer, they would be here.
Protests have also erupted, with community members saying the incident reflects a broader pattern of exploitation and abuse. As investigations continue, the eyes of the nation are on the justice system, as South Africans demand accountability for this heart-wrenching crime. Not far off in abnormality and with no direct correlation, this incident has also drawn attention to the lesser-known town of Orania, a racially exclusive town that consists only of white residents with no blacks allowed. The question on many lips now: are the racially exclusive views of Orania perhaps linked to a wider unknown demographic of South Africa? Yolanda Robert, Arise News.
Welcome back, my people all over South Africa, both home and abroad. Welcome back to this channel. Remember in my intro, I told you to look forward to this particular video I just showed you about happenings in South Africa. Now, before we start to interrogate some of these things, I want to ask you a question. What does 27th April 1994 mean to you as a South African? 27th April 1994 That was 30 years ago. Yes. To still see some of these things happening in the communities anywhere in South Africa is appalling. Well, I thought things like these have been eradicated long time ago with the majority rule in South Africa, which started since 1994. I thought this thing had been eliminated. So this is exactly what I'm saying. Now, if you listen to my videos very well, it's not just about Nigeria now, not about Nigeria and South Africa, not about the bad eggs from Nigeria that are coming to, to spoil your country, as some of you put it. But look at the common enemies. If you look at the video I just showed you, you see the common enemies, which these people are still, let's just say that apartheid is still live and well in South Africa. Apartheid regime that we all thought had been eliminated. Look at that incident, for instance. Look at what happened there. Look at the plight of black laborers in South Africa, in the fan of the so-called white, the Boer generation. See what is happening in South Africa. That a victim trying to make a living could be killed in such a gruesome way, with their bodies fed to pigs, not one, not two. Only God knows how the amount of molestation the women must have gone through. And this thing happened all the time in the suburb of South Africa. So what are the people doing about it? What is the justice system in South Africa doing about it? You, listening to me, what are you doing about it? Small time you will say, oh, I'm defending Nigeria. I'm not talking about Nigeria now. I'm talking about the evil that are going on in that society right now among the minority Boer descendants. What are you doing about them on your soil? They are killing people gruesomely, feeding them to the pigs. Now, what's the offense of these people? They are trying to make a living. And these are people who are feeding from the crumbs that fall from the tables of these minority white people. They are being killed. And from that, what that woman said, those who are supposed to be there, they were not there. Were they afraid? Why were they not represented there? Why is there no protest or agitation to stop this type of criminality? I know that all eyes are on the justice system as we speak now, but before then, what's going to happen? Does this not speak to the deep-rooted racial segregation that is still very much alive in South Africa? Does it not speak to the fact that the minority white are still ruling indirectly, even though we have a majority rule in South Africa? That video, what does it mean to you? 27th April 1994 was the day of independence, South Africa. 30 years ago. For these type of things to still be happening in South Africa, I think it is something that an urgent solution must be found to it. Yes, you now see that the Nigerians who come there to make a living, they are not your problem. There's a deep-seated, deep-rooted racial segregation, racial tension within the South Africa. Don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that those Nigerians you say are spoiling your country. I'm not saying they are desirable element. No, I've told you what to do to them anyway. Fish them out and deal with them. But let's face the real problem. The real problem that an ordinary South African has now is not the fellow Africans. As you can see there, killing women, killing people, killing innocent people whose only offense is just to look for what to eat on a daily basis. Now, if the economy were to be buoyant, this is one of the arguments I have with some of you. And I say, oh, go and fix your country. Go and fix your country. And South Africa is good. South Africa is good. If the economy is where it's supposed to be, would there be laborers in the farm of these Boer communities that are being killed, that are being vulnerable to all these racial tension and racial discrimination in their own land? Should that still be happening? The mostly affected people are the liberal, the poor people who are still within the system. I know there is no in fact, there is no community, no society, no country in the whole world that can boast of having completely wiped out poverty from the land. No, not even America. But what we are saying now is that's racial discrimination. And that's why I always mention the name of your hero that I call a war hero, Nelson Mandela. Look at the large heart that guy had. That even when he had opportunity of cutting a pound of flesh from those who punish his people, for those who dehumanize his people, for those who debase his society and all that, he did not. He did not. He did not seek revenge, but rather he brought everybody together. I ask you, the question you should be asking the boys is it how you intend to pay Nelson Mandela back for his large-heartedness? Is it how you are paying Nelson Mandela back for running an inclusive government, even when he had all the opportunity of dealing with those who are despitefully use his people? I think this is the task for the present government of South Africa. And that's exactly my point in all my videos. So when you are busy vilifying me, crucifying me, giving me knocks here and there, you can see that I come in peace. I am for solution of all the problems in the society. So when I saw this video, my mind was, in fact, I nearly shed tears that this thing is still happening in South Africa of the 21st century. And now look at that community, Uranium. Iranian community, to even think of it, that there is a community in South Africa today that is called Urania, where we have white only, blacks are forbidden. The same thing we read in history about the apartheid regime, where you have white only school, white only church, white only community. While you still have that in Urania, where you have only white and blacks are forbidden from going to that community. You still have that in South Africa. What are we talking about? What is the meaning of the 27th April 1994 to you? What is the meaning of independence? What is independence without sovereignty? If South Africa were to be a sovereign country, would we still have white community or white settlers that are barring blacks, the owners of the land, from entering certain areas in their land? These are the issues I want us to be discussing. Come on board. Let's discuss this issue. It's not xenophobia. You now see that common enemy is not fellow Africans. Let's deal with this problem on ground. Let's discuss it. I know some of you will still abuse me. I know. But the very intelligent and intellectual ones, they will know my whole premise. They know where I'm arguing from. There is a common enemy that South Africans won't deal with. Certainly, they know. They are African brothers. If such a thing, this barbarism is still being practiced in South Africa of the 21st century, 30 years after independence, then we have something to discuss. And that is what I have brought these about, for us to discuss it. As you know, as usual, I come in peace. That video, watch it over and over again, and let us find solution to this common problem. No, we don't need this in the 21st century. If South Africa is independent, South Africans must be free. And the freedom total freedom now, not flag independence. When South Africans are free, it means that they can go to anywhere within the Southern African community. When South Africans are free, it means that they can farm anywhere, they can walk anywhere without the fear that somebody is going to mow them down and feed them to the pigs, like the video we just watched. So we are asking for a total freedom for South Africa, and that simply means sovereignty. It means that you don't have any external force anywhere that is dictating anything to you and that is telling you what to do, and that your people are not afraid of farming, of doing whatever they like. These are issues that must be resolved. I come in peace. Dr. Femi Adegulu. Before I sign out, let me thank you again for my friends and my contacts, those who are magnanimous enough to subscribe to my channel. I thank you so much. You know, I've always appreciated you. Let me also say again now that those who are just sitting at Kimbo, what is this talking about? Look, this is the time for you to subscribe. You now see that everything that has to do that concerns the development of South Africa, how that country, together with my own country and all Africa together, we realize their potential. That's where I am. That's what I'm advocating. Okay? Please subscribe if you have not. And press the notification button so that you can get the benefit of getting all the videos that I upload. Until I come your way again, let's engage in heavy and robust discussion. I'm not saying you should not abuse me. If you find any reason, even in this video, to abuse me, but make it constructive, okay? I love you all. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Femi Adegulu. As I sign out, let me advise you, stay out of trouble so that we'll meet in peace. God bless. I sign out.